Hello friends and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Andrea and this is Dessert First. So today we're going to make cookies, and I'm going to make, I want to call it like a monster cookie. It'll be kind of a bigger cookie and have jam-packed with lots of different goodies in there. So great for those summer barbecues where you don't really want to have a lot of fuss when you're making something, or maybe just an afternoon snack for the kids or the grandkids or the neighborhood kids or the big kids. So, all right, let's get started. All right, so let's get started on our monster cookies. So I've got my stand mixer here. You could mix it by hand, although it might be a little stiff trying to get some of the ingredients mixed in. So the stand mixer will just make it easier. So I have 2 sticks of room temperature butter that I'm going to dump in here. There we go. And then we've got 3/4 of a cup of white granulated sugar, and then 3/4 a cup of dark brown sugar that was just lightly packed. So we're going to dump that in there. And then we're just going to kind of cream that together. All right. So I just creamed that together just for a minute, really just to incorporate the sugars and the butter. So I've got 2 large eggs that we're going to add. And I busted that one with the eggshell. There we go. All right, so we're just going to add those in. And then we're also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're just going to mix this in together. Okay. So now we're going to add our flour. And I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm not going to add all of it at once, so we're just going to add part of it. About half of it, and mix that in. And then to the rest of my flour, I'm going to add some salt and some baking soda. So I've got a half a teaspoon of salt and then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we're just going to add that in there. Just kind of mix it in a little bit. And then add that into our mixer. And then we're just going to mix this until it's all incorporated. Now comes all the goodies. So I've got some oats. So these are the old-fashioned oats. I just like them better than the quick oats, but that's just my preference. So I have 1 cup, so I'm going to dump those in, and we're just going to mix it a little bit. And then I've got some pretzels, and these were just your regular small pretzels, and I just kind of crushed them a little bit. And I've got about 3/4 of a cup of crushed pretzels. And then I've got chocolate chips. These are semi-sweet chocolate chips, and then butterscotch chips. And I have 10 ounces of each. And we're just going to dump those in. And I don't like to mix those too much because I don't want the mixer to bust up the chips too much. So I'm going to give it one more little go around after I kind of get some of that back in there. There we go. Okay. Now I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees, and I have a couple of sheet trays that I have lined with some parchment paper. And normally I would use a scoop to dish out my cookies just so they're all the same size and not too huge, but these have so much going on in there that I'm going to use a spoon so I can make them a little bigger, and that way we're not missing out on some of the goodies in our cookies. If we use a scoop, then some cookies might not get a little bit of everything in there. So, large spoon here. I'm just going to kind of clump them and just dump that on there. All right, so our first batch of cookies are out of the oven, and I baked mine for 13 minutes. Now, if yours are smaller, check them between the 8 and 10 mark, but I did let mine go all the way to 13 just because they were so much bigger. So it's really going to just depend on how big your cookies are. But you can see they're nice and golden, and they have a nice golden color on the bottom. So then they're still really warm, but you can see all the goodies in there. So we're just going to take a bite of this. These are really good. They're just loaded with goodies, so you're getting something in every bite, whether it's oatmeal, pretzel, chocolate, or butterscotch. It's all in there, and the pretzels add a little crunch to your cookies, so everyone's gonna love these cookies. Super easy to make. They don't take a whole lot of time. You can have them whopped out in no time. Just put them in an airtight container once they've cooled down, just to keep them from softening up, and you're going to be ready to go for that next barbecue. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share. The more the merrier. So I hope you enjoy. Till next time.